We went to see him in Pittsburgh.
Let me call to order the Mentor City Council regular meeting, November 21st, 2023. The invocation will be given by Councilperson Dowling.
Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this day. Help us to use good judgment for the business at hand and guide us in wisdom with a continuing sense of truth and fairness for the community we represent.
Pledge allegiance. Everyone, please stay standing. We're going to have a moment of silence for the victims of our tragedy we had in Mentor this week. Thank you. Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling.
Here.
Mr. Freeman.
Here.
Mr. Kirschner.
Here.
Mr. Krieger.
Here.
Mr. Marne.
Here.
Mr. Blake.
Here.
Mr. Donovan.
Here. Council, you're in receipt of the November 8th, 2023 work session. Move to approve.
Second?
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Mr. Kirschner.
Yes.
Mr. Krieger.
Yes.
Mr. Marne.
Yes.
Mr. Blake.
Yes.
Mr. Donovan.
Yes. Council, you're in receipt of the November 8th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Move to approve.
Second?
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Mr. Kirschner.
Yes.
Mr. Krieger.
Yes.
Mr. Marne.
Yes.
Mr. Blake.
Yes.
Mr. Donovan.
Yes. Council, before we get too far into this, I wanna say a few words to Chief Searles and Chief Gunch. We just want to tell you on this council that we're so proud of you guys and your men and women and what you did for the city this week and the positions your people put themselves in to save people's lives. I just wanted to say that before we started this meeting and tell you guys how much we appreciate you and let your men and women know that, please. Thank you very much. We have a presentation tonight.
This is the tree commission.
Oh, the Tree Commission presentation. Rod, come on up. Sorry about that.
Good evening.
Good evening,
I
Rod.
just wanted to give you, everybody a recap.
Rod, give me your name and address
Oh,
for
I'm
the clerk.
sorry.
Thanks.
I'm Rod Schroeder from the Tree Commission, Overton Drive. Just wanted to give everybody a recap what we did this year, and what we plan on doing next year. Got a little slideshow here. This is our arborist, contract arborist, Ben, that we work with. He's out tagging trees. We tag all of our own trees, so we get good stock. We don't just rely on the contractor to pick out the trees. Planted 440 trees this year, spring and fall. It's a lot of trees, but like I said, we have a new building going on and trying to keep the city green. Some more trees from the nursery. This was, we set up a tent at Wildwood birthday. We taught the children how to plant little seedlings from acorns. We sent them all home with it. Kind of a crummy day out there, but it turned out to be a nice day eventually. Pretty good response. Plan on doing it again next year. This was Arbor Day at Bellflower Elementary. This year, I've never seen such a turnout of the parents. It was actually nice to see. Kids got into it. They all stand up, they say their little tree poem, and weather was not so great, but we did have a tree planted outside with a little plaque. And in this picture, to the far right, is Jason Cruikshank. He's a new member this year. He took over Dick Douglas's spot. Been a great addition. He's helped out a lot. This is our 35th year at Tree City USA and our 9-year growth award. If everything works out right, we should have our 10-year growth award next year. Tree City USA standards, it's rare. It's really good. So, just want to keep growing. These are some of the trees that we planted and medians. Other things we've done this year is we've worked with the Fire Museum to help improve their landscape. We've done young tree pruning, some of the younger trees to help establish and scaffolding branches and health. Cindy and I, we went to Euclid. So it's called North Coast Compact. It's a vocational school. Josh Steffens. What he does is an urban farming program, and we're trying to promote. I guess it'd be like a student volunteer program. High school students have to get credits for college. And we're trying to open it up so they can come get their credits with us. We really didn't have much of a success this year, but we're going to try it again next year. Maybe our approach was a little. Had good feedback from the instructor. For next year, we're going to try exploring a citywide inventory of street trees. What it'll be, it's a 4-dimensional inventory that could be utilized by all the departments in the city. It was presented to me by Mariah Ritz and enforcement. And it looks like a great option. It's real feasible. We're going to keep working on the student volunteer program. We're going to prune some more young trees. We're going to try promoting ourselves more through social media. City website. Come up with a 12-month calendar, and every month have a tree fact or tree activity to do that month. And I'd like to thank Matt for all his support this year. Mariah from the tree code enforcement. Everybody up on city council, I appreciate it. So whenever we have a problem, I'd like to thank Julie. She's helped me out a lot. And I'd like to also thank Cindy. It's her last year. She's retiring. She's stepping down. She's done a lot over the last 8 years. That's all I have. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Mr. President, I have one question.
Sure, sure.
You mentioned you're pruning the young trees. Are these the trees that they're putting in the new, some of the newer developments that are starting to grow over the course of a couple of years, or is these specific areas that you're targeting?
What these trees are is when we plant the trees, they go in and they're probably about 5 to 8 years old. Then after about 3 years, we come by and we do what's called young tree pruning. And it's establishing scaffolding branches, promoting tree health. And then after that, it's, they're starting to grow quick, and it'll just be one more pruning. And what that does is actually sets the bottom branches above the sidewalk and above the street to proper heights. And it just kind of gives the tree a little bit of a better chance of living. So that's about as far as we've taken it to this point. Planting 440 trees a year, it's a lot to keep up with.
That's great that you do that, because I know in my development, had they done that years ago, we wouldn't have these huge branches sticking out, out
Right.
into the street. So that pruning is very critical.
Yeah.
So thank you for what you guys do. So.
Mr. President, just one other question. On the in the inventory program, that is associated with the software package, is that correct, is what you're looking at?
Yes.
In terms of age of tree, species, so you'll have a pretty,
Yeah, what the
In-depth.
program is, I know I forwarded some of the information to a couple members. What it is, it's a company from, I believe, Holland, and what they do is it's like a Google Earth car, and they drive around, and you get a 4-dimensional picture of the trees. It'll grade the tree, give tree health, and it goes so far out into, I'd probably be past the city right away into people's front yards, and then you can punch up the trees and. Like you could say, we're at 50-mile-an-hour winds today. So you punch up 50-mile-an-hour wind failure, and it'll highlight each tree. Or when we had emerald ash borer, punch up emerald ash borer, and it'll highlight all the emerald ash borer, trees susceptible to that. It's pretty neat because, code enforcement could use it, even police and fire, It's, I believe it's $1 a tree. The inventory, and we have 26,000 street trees in the city. I know in the town I work in, the city of Beechwood, we have 6,500 trees. It took 2 guys 3 months to inventory all. Software was nowhere. An old You know, it's an old.
Thank you.
Rod, thanks a lot. Thanks for being committed. You're doing a great job.
you.
Appreciate it. Public hearings, we have none. Tabled legislation, we have none. New legislation, ordinance number 23-0-0086.
An ordinance to authorize transfers of funds, advances of funds, and revisions to appropriations and declaring an emergency.
Flippia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Malinowski, please.
Thank you, Mr. Filipiak. Members of council, this ordinance does three things. Firstly, it authorizes two permanent cash transfers. The first one out of the city's general fund to fund the payroll stabilization fund. These are for severance payments. And secondly, a permanent cash transfer from the street fund to close out the Forest Woodridge Fund. Secondly, there are four temporary cash advances, all out of the city's general fund totaling $407,000. And these are to fund ongoing projects as noted in the staff memo. And then finally, there are several appropriation revisions. The majority of these are decreases to various funds to also close out projects. We do like to close projects out in finance, and I will be bringing you another cash transfer ordinance at the next meeting to close out some additional funds. Thank you. I recommend approval.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirchner?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Mr. Marne?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirchner?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Mr. Marne?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes. Ordinance number 23-0-086 is approved. Ordinance number 23-0-087.
An ordinance approving and authorizing the city manager to execute an addendum to the lease agreement with North Star Towers for a portion of permanent parcel number 16A01100000160 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Zeman.
Yes, Mr. President, members of council, this is really a companion ordinance to ordinance number 85, whereby the council was requested to grant a permanent utility easement to CEI to facilitate electrical service to the cell tower to be located on Mentor Hills Drive. Some issues and concerns were raised. The cell tower operator, the city's tenant, did agree that consideration for the permanent easement to CEI was not something originally bargained for in the lease. And so for the consideration as detailed in the addendum, the request would then be to then also enact the CEI easement. So if there's any further questions, certainly answer them for you.
Council? Move to suspend.
Before I second,
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. President, I'd
Mr.
like
Marne, go
to
ahead.
thank Mr. Zeman and Mr. Flipiak and his staff. This has been long overdue. It's been about a year. This is actually out of almost 300 areas within the country. This is rated number 4 as a problem area for Verizon. And Wendy Zilli really stepped up to the plate. Jesse Stiles and North Star stepped up to the plate. And definitely by the $20,000 for the easement, it helps us even for bike paths at Hopkins. So I'd like to thank all the parties involved because it's a long time coming, that's for sure. But second.
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirchner?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Mr. Marne?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Move to approve.
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirchner?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Mr. Marne?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes. Ordinance number 23-0-087 is approved. Ordinance number 23-0-085.
An ordinance granting and authorizing the city manager to execute a utility easement to the Cleveland Electric Illuminating Company for a line extension upon permanent parcel number 16A01100000160 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Zeman?
Yes, Mr. President, members of council, this was placed on second reading. In addition to the issues that I just addressed, also because we're waiting on final confirmation for CEI, relative to the form of the easement that it found acceptable. Presented to you would be that new exhibit, so a motion to amend this ordinance to include the actual easement exhibit would be in order, and after that, if that passes, a motion to accept, to approve as amended. Thank you.
Do I have somebody who wants to amend?
Move to amend.
Second?
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirchner?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Mr. Marne?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Move to suspend as amended.
Second?
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirchner?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Mr. Marne?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Move to approve as amended.
Second?
Julie, please call the roll.
Mrs. Dowling?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Kirchner?
Yes.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Mr. Marne?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes. Ordinance number 23-0-085 is approved. Third readings, we have none. Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. My report is very short this evening, but I want to echo the comments that you made at the beginning of our meeting this evening. We did have a tragedy in our community, a senseless one at that, but I first of all want to thank our residents who we've had such tremendous resident support. I'm sure many of you have heard. We certainly have heard as well from people who just asked if there's anything they can do, just as I had mentioned at our press conference, we're kind of sharing this loss together and trying to get over it together. So we appreciate what our community has done and how they've come together on this. But I also want to echo what Councilman Donovan said. Our police and fire departments perform admirably and do their job well every single day, but there are certain days when they're asked to step up in ways that most people couldn't contemplate, and a lot of our people were put in harm's way, but they were there and they did their job and they did it well, extraordinarily well, and we couldn't be any more proud of them despite the loss to the community. We're glad. It could have been a lot worse without the decisive actions of our police and fire department members, and we appreciate what they've done. Finally, council, just I have a few new businesses to announce to you. Asian Feastery at 7413 Menor Avenue, MQ Smoke Vape at 9409 Menor Avenue, and Oils and Auras at 7850 Mentor Avenue. So we appreciate their investment in our city and wish them great success moving forward. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Clerk's correspondence, we have none. Oh, wait, what?
It's okay. I just usually say nothing.
Oh, okay.
You just said it for me.
I just saw none there.
It's okay.
Commission and committee reports. Council, in receipt of the Board of Building and Zoning Appeals, October 10th, 2023. Tree Commission, October 11th, 2023. Municipal Planning Commission, October 19th, 2023. Old business? Anyone? New business? No one? Persons before council, we have no one. Council?
Before I ask to make a motion to adjourn, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy this time with your families and friends. So with that, I move to adjourn.
Second?
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.